Family.
Good morning.
Morning. Welcome to Morning Delight. Today's Wednesday, August 16th. Let's greet our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 천지인 참 부모님께 경배. 바로. And for our family pledge, let's welcome Pastor Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 전상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 통족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님의 대신 가정으로서 자녀를 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. It's so nice to recite the family pledge all together like this. I love it. Thank you. All right, brothers and sisters, let's take a few moments to share our gratitudes, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Oh, prayer?
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Reverend Joshua, could you please pray for us?
Please join me in prayer. Sorry, my camera's not working at the moment. My parents, spirits of divine, and parents of heaven, earth, humankind. Good morning. So grateful that we can all be on today on this call. And I pray that we can really receive guidance this morning to take the message that we gained today, be able to integrate into our lives, and be able to experience you within our lives today as well, and be able to bring you into our experiences and all that we do, and that our efforts can really bring inspiration, hope, and joy, and that we can really connect with you and support our brother at this time as well. I pray for those that are still coming on the call and those who may not be able to join today, that they can experience you today as well. I thank you, and I pray that we can really make the most out of today. So I close this prayer in the name of Joshua Gutowski, the Gutowski family, and everyone gathered here at Lodge.
Thank you, Joshua. Okay, everybody, now we can share our gratitudes. Let's be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a good sharing. Dr. Stewart, would you like to share more with us? You'd have to unmute. Dr. Stewart, Therese?
There, I got it.
Thank you.
And you asked me to share?
Please.
Okay.
I
So
liked what you said in the breakout room.
I'm very grateful to be reminded by, yeah, I can't remember the couple's name.
Mimi
And Mimi. To be reminded of them of the preciousness of our ancestors, and grateful for our ancestors and for the merit they have earned for us, and for that they have helped to prepare the way that true parents could come. Very grateful also for a long life, and pray that I can use well the time that remains to me to prepare for my life and better prepare for my life in the spiritual world. I'm grateful for all the people I live with here at this retirement home, and for opportunities to share with some of them the preciousness of the divine principle, or the story of the history of the unification movement. And I'm grateful to be able to join with all of you every morning and to receive the jewels, the precious words that you have to share. I thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciated your expression, karmic debt.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Stewart. Okay, everyone, it's time for our Godable reading. We're reading from the Mother of Peace, our True Mother's memoir. Pastor Milhan.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Aunt Kathleen. Thank you,
Morning.
Dr. Stewart. Let's just jump in today. Beautiful. Try sharing my sound.
Thank you.
Okay, let's begin our Godable reading.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. On June 7th, 2019, on the eve of the blessing, I visited the historic township of Soweto. Soweto is known throughout the world as the location of the first anti-apartheid uprisings in 1976, the home of global luminaries such as Nelson Mandela and Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Its people played an important role in the civil rights movement in South Africa. From 1948 until the 1990s, institutionalized racial segregation, known as apartheid, was enforced in South Africa. South Africa's minority white population dominated the nation's political, economic, and social institutions and actively discriminated against other races. The white government removed Black people from their land, forced them to learn the Afrikaans language, and required them to have special permits to travel outside designated areas. They could not eat in the same restaurants or take the same buses as white people. Interracial marriage was illegal, and Black people could not own land in white designated areas. In 1976, high school students in South Africa protested the forced introduction of Afrikaans as the official language through the Soweto uprising and many other protests that followed. Thousands of people were killed or injured during these uprisings, which became a major movement against apartheid. Archbishop Desmond Tutu and others denounced the law on learning Afrikaans, saying it forced children to learn the language of the oppressor. The sacrifice young students made during the protests are truly heartbreaking. Police opened fire on the students, and Hector Peterson, a 12-year-old student, was killed. The photo of Hector, carried by Mbuyisa Makubu and his sister Antoinette, weeping, transformed South Africa and shook the world. The day before the Blessing Festival, I visited the Hector Peterson Memorial in Soweto to pay my respects and offer a prayer for the victims of apartheid and all racial discrimination. I prayed to God, asking for the liberation of the Black race from the painful history of racial discrimination, for the liberation of the students killed and deprived of their hopes and dreams, and for God's blessing on South Africa and Africa. I was particularly moved to see Antoinette, along with 400 youths from throughout South Africa, gather with me at the Hector Peterson Memorial at Prophet Radebe's invitation. The youth danced and sang beautiful songs of hope. I felt that these young people were my children. The events of June 2019 created the momentum upon which Prophet Radebe would prepare a blessing ceremony for 100,000 couples in South Africa that December. Archbishop Johannes Ndanga of Zimbabwe is the chairman of the Apostolic Christian Council of Zimbabwe, ACCZ, the largest Christian council in Zimbabwe, with thousands of affiliated churches and millions of members. Dr. Yoon recognized Archbishop Ndanga as the third righteous man Father Moon had indicated in his dream. Archbishop Ndanga's relationship with our movement began when he came to Kenya to offer congratulatory remarks during an interfaith blessing ceremony. As he spoke, the heavens opened and he heard, "Don't just offer congratulatory remarks, receive the blessing as well." Archbishop Ndanga promptly received the blessing and joyfully came to participate in the 2017 Peace Starts With Me festival in Madison Square Garden. Archbishop Ndanga stated, "I recognized True Mother as the only begotten daughter through heaven's revelation. I am grateful to have received the blessing, and I am now sharing the gospel of true parents wherever I go. I hope that true parents' ideal world of peace can be realized." On the eve of the Madison Square Garden Festival, I invited the 3 Golden Key religious leaders to dine with me at our East Garden residence. There, Archbishop Ndanga said, "You are the true mother humankind has eagerly been waiting and longing for." The following day, he testified to other religious leaders about his encounter with me, saying, "True Mother is our true mother. I am her blessed son." Inspired by what he experienced in the U.S., Archbishop Ndanga returned to Zimbabwe, where he mobilized over 300 bishops from ACCZ and, together with FFWPU leaders, hosted a special Divine Principle workshop and blessing for them. With the support of the government of Zimbabwe, each of those bishops educated and blessed 210 couples. In all, more than 60,000 couples received the blessing. On November 11, 2017, Archbishop Ndanga offered congratulatory remarks at the 80,000 Rally of Hope to support the peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula at the Sangam World Cup Stadium in Seoul. As he was preparing to go home, he received the news that Zimbabwe was caught up in political upheaval and a change of leadership in government. The political turmoil was severe, with riots in the street and unrest throughout the nation. Archbishop Ndanga was apprehensive about the situation. When he arrived in Harare, he saw several ministers being apprehended and taken away. Yet it was as if no one recognized him. He passed swiftly through the airport and arrived home safely. Amid the turmoil engulfing the nation, he was a prominent Christian leader. His life was certainly at risk. He firmly believes that I protected him from coming to harm, testifying, "It was True Mother's miracle." In 2018, I appointed Archbishop Ndanga to the position of Chun Il-guk Special Envoy for Zimbabwe. He responded with determination, saying, "I will be a dutiful son who will testify throughout Zimbabwe and Africa to the True Mother as the only begotten daughter of God. All people are God's children. God does not discriminate based on skin color. True parents have blessed Africa as Heavenly Africa and prayed for its liberation from past afflictions. A new history is being written, one where African families are being reborn as true families through the blessing. This is initiating the change that will raise Africa to become the shining continent of hope for all humankind." Sao Tome and Principe, the model for national restoration. Following the inaugural Africa Summit held in January 2018, various nations throughout the African continent expressed a desire to host summits and blessings. After nearly 4 decades of mission work and on the foundation of the previous year's activities and World Summit 2019, the government of Sao Tome and Principe expressed a strong desire to host initiatives throughout the country, including a summit, a blessing festival, and a Youth and Students for Peace festival. I sent my representative to Sao Tome in the spring of 2019, and after he met the President, His Excellency Evaristo Carvalho, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Jorge Bom Jesus, and the President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Delfim Neves, a memorandum of understanding between UPF and the government of Sao Tome was signed. Hearing about Sao Tome's willingness to work together on several key initiatives, I was determined to bless it and lay the foundation for a heavenly nation there, and I announced that I would hold the 2019 Africa Summit and the Hyojung Family Blessing Festival in Sao Tome and Principe. This is a beautiful equatorial island nation in the Gulf of Guinea off the coast of Central Africa. It gained its independence from Portugal in 1975. After we had traveled for more than 40 hours, including 2 layovers, the government of Sao Tome offered an extraordinary welcome. Cabinet ministers welcomed me warmly at the airport, and the next day, His Excellency President Evaristo Carvalho welcomed me at the Presidential Palace for a private meeting. Following our cordial meeting, the Presidential Honor Guard escorted me to the National Assembly building to open the summit. More than 800 leaders from Sao Tome and throughout Africa were in attendance. The National Assembly had generously offered the use of its premises for the summit and blessing, and by 9 a.m., the main hall and surrounding overflow rooms were full. In addition to His Excellencies President Carvalho, Prime Minister Jorge Bom Jesus, and President of the National Assembly Delfim Neves, there were hundreds of parliamentarians, dozens of government ministers, hundreds of religious leaders and leaders of civil society, as well as several former heads of state from throughout Africa in attendance.
Thank you for listening to Godable. Visit Mother of Peace.
Thank you, guidance and parents, for these words today and for this special message. I don't know why, but I feel like Mother's flexing right now. Showing how much she's not messing around. And when she talks about making impact and we have a lot of words, a lot of hundredk, right? A lot of readings, but somebody might ask, well, what are you doing about it? And what kind of impact are you making? And so we're looking at Africa, South Africa, Sao Tome and Principe, and I think Mother kind has been able to work more with African people, I believe, because they're more spiritual and can rely on revelation a little bit more than just reason or different dogmas. So I'm so glad that we were able to make a foundation there. And also look at the model for national restoration. This is the ultimate dream, to have one nation that we can claim with sovereignty before true parents pass in the spirit world. So, you know, this whole book started with the shores of Sao Tome and Principe, and she talks about it again here. So let's study that a bit more. Liberation of the Black race. So she's praying to God, asking for liberation of the Black race from the painful history of racial discrimination. So if slavery weren't enough, there was racial discrimination thereafter, at least in the US, but in South Africa, as you know, history, apartheid was a disgusting history that they have. But thanks to certain people like Prophet Hutu, Prophet Hutu or Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He was key person in peaceful protest and trying to harmonize, centered on God. And you know, these things are so unthinkable that God has to get involved. I mean, even if you study the discrimination in the US, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was a deeply spiritual person. He was a reverend. They did many prayer conditions so you know, we talk about these miracles that take place. Well, they're not miracles. They're just, it's literally the result of prayer and jung song and fasting and taking action. So when she receives all of this, really what she's seeing that there's already a foundation there, and that I don't think it took her very much to liberate the Black race because of the sacrifices that were already made. And it wouldn't take much for a Black person to receive God's heart of pain and suffering, historical and generational suffering. So I know I might have shared this before, but after Mother liberated Africa, I think she might mention that. I had a dream where I was on this dusty baseball field and there were all these Black children, like maybe, you know, up to the height of my hip. And it just so many Black kids, and we're just laughing and having a good time. And you know, I interpret that dream as like heaven's filled with Black people, filled with Africans and all the different Black people around the world. Just they're there and they're waiting for us to come home to heaven, you know. So it's no wonder like there's so many more Black prominent leaders supporting us. I mean, you don't think they pray before they consider, you know, working with us? I'm sure they do. And so God's revealing to them who true mother is. And this is the heart that Mother does it. These people are my children. You know, when I walk these streets of Harlem, I feel the same way. When I'm going to CVS to buy some mouthwash, I'm holding my baby, and it's like 9:30 at night, and I'm like, these are my children. So I feel. That's how I feel. True Mother's miracle. True Mother's miracle is simply, this is the only begotten daughter of God. Anyone that is supporting Mother will have protection. They'll have whatever they need, as long as they have the belief and faith. There's so much support for Mother that it's it's kind of normal now. Even when we had the event at Belvedere, when Mother came, sure, so I don't know if any of you were here for that, but when she came, the rain, the weather prediction was very serious. It was like lightning storms, and somehow we decided to go through with it anyway. And Syke and I were praying desperately the night before, like, please let no one be killed, because apparently in Germany they did a concert in a storm, and somebody was killed because like an electrocuted stage. Anyway, so. But not only that, so it didn't rain the entire time. And then after Mother spoke, the flood just came down from the sky. I'll never forget it. It's like getting in her car. And I don't think she had one drop on her, to be honest. But we all got drenched after that. But and I don't know, I just see these things and it's kind of normal for me now. Even Koichi Nakai, he looked at what do you call it? Like the you know how the weather forecast, they can kind of see where the clouds are moving and stuff, you know? So he was looking at it, and there was like this hole in the storm right around our area as it moved over over New York. We're just laughing like that is crazy. So not that we should rely on these physical things, but just keep in mind that heaven is working with us, and we should have full confidence that we're on the right side of history. This is initiating change that will raise Africa to become the shining continent of for all humans. I think that a lot can start from Africa. And again, some people are kind of competing with Africa now. Like in the U.S., like U.S. wants to be True Mother's champion. But I'm sorry, Africa's kind of got a head start over there. So we got some work to do. Push joy forward. Okay, so this part I'm particularly excited by. National restoration. This is a very clear formula, and it's what I highlighted here. It's a summit, a blessing festival, and a YSP festival. Of course, how it might translate to each country might vary a little bit, not too much. So the summit this is like the protection. Okay? You got the VIPs, heads of state, the cabinet members, Congress people. They're all standing with our true parents. Okay, that's step one. And they're having conferences, and they're collectively using their mind to bring God into the nation. So non-true parents. The second is the Blessing Festival. This is like the most sacred, the most holy event of all, where the families are becoming the center of the nation. And when you bless these families, and of course, assuming they're being educated in family values, how to raise your kids in purity, this sort of thing, all the blessing vows, that is the holy center of the nation. And then to solidify the future generations and to continue this blessing culture, you have the YSP Festival, Youth and Students for Peace Festival, which is based in Kyojang. And for those who know about that, that's the main thrust of YSP. So it's kind of like you have your protection, the meat, the blessing, and then the future. So that event, of course, it might just be an event, but it represents a lot if we follow up, assuming. So that is national restoration, where the head of state is supporting about that. Sao Tome Principe is the first place that happened, at least at that kind of level, where, I mean, it's a very small country. I forget how many, it's a little over 100,000 people population. So in a way, it was not as difficult as like Nigeria or something. But it was a glimpse of what is to come. And it is my ambition that New York City does the same thing. You know, I have joked about this, but it's me and Saika. We're going to be at Times Square New Year's Eve, and we're going to be blessing 1 million people right there. I just see it. Why? Because the world's getting crazier and crazier, and these children are suffering. And until we bring the blessing to our own people, these children will continue to suffer in confusion and no hope for the future. They need to see parents that love each other and have God's love in them, so they can love, be patient with their own children, have purity and all these things that we take for granted, but the whole world is going to be very hungry for it. And I just want us to be ready when it happens. So that's New York is going to be restored. We'll see. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Mahan. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's take a few moments to share our reflections, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a good sharing. Can I please invite Roger Weatherall to share with us today? Roger,
Good morning, everybody.
good morning.
I was thinking a lot about the future of Africa and Mother's investment there. And, you know, we think of Africa a lot as a kind of a backwater of civilization, but actually there are so many amazing things that are happening in Africa. The innovations in banking and technology and all of the developments that are happening there today are actually very innovative and are going to cause a lot of transformation and disruption to the Western world in the next 30 years, I think. So Mother's investment in Africa, I think, is really important. It's also got the youngest population in the world, and they're really smart. I'm always amazed at the ideas and the technology that they come up with is just really interesting, very imaginative. So, you know, they have places in Africa now where they deliver medicine by drones as a routine part of their life. You know, they just every day they're sending out hundreds and thousands of blood donations through drones all around the country. So those are the kind of things that, you know, we can't do in the Western world because we're kind of bogged down in the old stuff, all of the old stuff. So I think is really important that as America and Africa have a very special relationship. And so we need to really support what's going on there. And if we don't, America's going to get left behind, you know, because by 2030, actually, Africa as a continent is probably going to be as big as China is now in terms of economy. So that's my prediction.
That's
Anyway,
wonderful.
yeah, Mother's heart, I think, in embracing Africa and in loving Africa so much has really been reciprocated by that continent. And that's really a blessing for our entire worldwide movement as well. So, my thoughts.
Thank you very much. Okay, brothers and sisters, do we have any prayer requests before we start our 7 minutes prayer? Anybody?
Well, if you could pray for my dear friend and brother, elder brother in this case, even though physically is younger, but Pastor Ronald Miles. He writes me this incredible, beautiful texts every day. And I only can chalk it up to he's feeling something through me about your mother. When he took me out for just suddenly, Sebastian, I got to take you out to Japanese restaurant. So he took me out for hibachi, spent a total of over $100 to feed me. And then he said, can I meet Mother Moon? And that was his main point. How can I meet Mother Moon? So I said, well, yeah, I didn't say much. But anyway, if you could really pray for him and my relationship with him, I don't want to get in the way. I want him to do that.
Yes. So be it. Okay, Ronald Miles, Pastor Ronald Miles.
Amen.
All right, brothers and sisters, if you don't have any other prayer requests, let's begin our 7 minutes use in prayer. Shija.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent. Good morning, true parents, Heavenly Parent, and true parents. We pray for a true Father in spiritual and
this opportunity
soon will come in September 1st.
to realize the purpose
anniversary is to walk on his
being
pray
in
for him.
society.
Pray for him,
that he may find a job soon to provide to his family
we
and
pray for
himself.
brothers and
My own
sisters,
blocking so many things, Father.
we pray for true family that is
Allow the Spirit, your love, the Spirit of your love, Heavenly Parents, to flow
pray
easily.
for
Cool.
Now,
parents.
the spigot of our true mother, Father, is wide open.
Pray for you to
For each one of my brothers and sisters. And to really connect to true mother, to true father, to true parents, to providence. It's not a personal thing, Heavenly Parent.
His relationship
Not
with the blessed,
something
his
that
family,
can easily be explained
faith,
to
and his work.
parents because
pray for Kim Jong
And success is his life.
that he can
you behind the scenes who made this
Community
huge
ministry,
universe.
and
That
remember what is
bad
you
right
know
show,
technology will make small mistakes and explode. Just don't worry.
pray for the
Same
leaders
thing,
of
Father, if
those
you
academics,
look at true
job,
parents and Jesus in a
grow,
horizontal and humanistic way,
Caribbean ministry
the
with
work that's being done through the providence to the parents.
Heavenly Parent, we pray
It's dangerous, very dangerous.
more weight.
So pray for that protection, especially upon brothers and sisters who don't understand true mother. Going on with what at stake, the prophet said,
Stevens,
by
that
2030,
health,
Father, nation as a
grow,
continent will surpass
more full,
China, Father, definitely in terms of numbers,
with Hispanics,
people,
Steven,
and also in terms of technology
Ryan,
and
and
financial
Zacharias,
power,
Steven,
Father. And I can see very clearly, as you
I'd
said,
like to
as
pray
we know, so many
for
smart
Sonomas,
people there, so many wonderful
find true
brothers and
mother,
sisters, but they're also
wife,
bogged down by the
over
history
himself and his family,
fall that's implicating them
grow,
as well, Father, holding them down. But they're waiting, Father, to hear about
I'd
true
like
life.
also
My
to
prayer
pray for
for
myself,
to sort things out for
this
themselves,
other
Father. For Nita,
negativity,
he's offering forgiveness to heaven, not only the
life,
repentance of the people that perpetrated
and help for the
it.
church,
They offered up
the family,
forgiveness also. On the
the
recipient's
work,
end, Father.
spiritual,
And the ones that sitting on the pile of gold, them in the
that
heavenly purpose that it's been built up, Father, by so
shadow,
many people, Father. This is a generation now,
I
Father,
pray
that needs to
that
offer
can
forgiveness of God to
Christians coming
heavenly
together.
parents,
So many churches.
sin to parents, and it's beyond
Churches
me,
in one,
Father,
I'd like to pray for
to be the main facilitator,
poor
definitely make a contribution.
can have
Be the facilitator.
pray Heavenly
I want to be
Parent
not standing in the way,
and
prohibiting that.
relationships in his family,
represent the heart
Pray
work,
for Pastor
positive
Miles,
relationships,
especially,
family work,
Father, that he can guide
health,
our
each and
conversation
every
health
one
and
of
everything that we
the
do
pray
together,
Heavenly
for
Father.
his
Parent.
We
family,
can really come
his
to
All of the
parents.
people
background,
so hard.
To know his position and to
Everyone
also,
coming
work,
on this
especially
morning
with
prayer.
relationshiip to
Be
pray
with
for
them
Michael
and help
Bala,
like
Prince
you
Julius,
Aggie
each and
Father,
Saka,
for all the loving brothers
for
and
his
sisters
pray
family,
Heavenly Parent.
that have suffered,
Saka,
no matter
We
which
can bring the
nationality,
victory
race,
here in
or
New
culture
York.
they're
I pray
from.
for the governor in New York. The
A
hope
pile
of
of them,
doing
Father, is a
energy,
pile of gold, and offering to
New
you
York.
didn't have any
forgiveness.
activity in the community,
That's really where it's
feeling
at.
the
New York
during
City.
confidential
any
time that we live in.
Brothers and
New York
sisters here on this
Live
Ipshika
call,
on property.
Pray Heavenly
especially
Sunday
Parent.
vision to
service,
give a
All
blessing.
brothers and
like in the
1
city.
million
Living today.
pray
the
Heavenly
message
Parent.
that
Chicken
he
de la
said.
plus pour
But this is the reason why he is the
Maybe
leader,
if
Father, why he has chosen,
maybe
Father, to be the
GPA,
YCP leader, Father, because he
Pray for
can
them
see
Aggie
Heavenly
very
Saka,
clearly.
and I'd like to pray
He's
for
been
Kai
made and
Allen,
fashioned. One of
who's
God's children,
going out
one
of
of
which
witness.
God's
We
children.
give
He
them
doesn't
praise.
have all the
I pray
inhibitions and
that
the
they can
full
shortcomings.
energy,
I
health,
His
pray
ancestral
Heavenly
background,
Parent.
Father, calls him
healthy
Sarah.
relationship,
That
have family,
now he's inheriting
work,
his,
community, faith.
his yearning
So I'd like to pray for my father, my
inherit it.
mother, my grandmother,
He's working Harlem, Father,
spiritual,
going to the store,
that they can
looking at the children, Father, his
seriously
own sons
depends
and daughters.
of
It's amazing. What kind of an
for
attitude he
my
has. I
grandparents
just
in
bless him for
when
that.
needed,
We can support
doing
him not in a horizontal and humanistic way.
in
Really uplift him.
like
Same with Damien, Father, who has a vision
all my
standing
time,
a passionate fire
what
burning
to
within him,
preto,
so that is very, very
need
strong.
healing,
Pray, Father, whatever happens, happens.
Shorter and shorter every
We
day.
offer up our
food,
forgiveness.
and
Go on forward forward, Father. Pray for each one of my sisters here.
Can be
Provide
blessings
Kathleen,
sometimes.
Vera, Father.
For
Make
Thelma
tremendous,
and
powerful combination of
show that they're
I can receive
foundations, Father, both
others.
Holland Hope from
take
Japan.
care of
Pray for
yes, there are
Combo,
obstacles and a
they
lot
should
of
be
Fiona,
distractions.
and I can
But
learn
no,
from
our
them,
main
Father.
task
Pray
is
for the Lots
Delina,
family, for the Weather Ross, their incredible work with families and marriages, Father, performances, the losses, the
is
Dakotas,
here.
the Dallas, the
And the
Stevens, the
children.
Pierce, the Stewarts,
start
And I pray
the
for
ministries.
Cornell,
Sao
and the
Paulo,
Ithaca College, Father.
Roberto
They
and
stick
Paula,
together. So many people going there,
Nancy and
Father.
We never
Mauro,
meet
Hearts
them.
can be
Yes,
revived
mother,
in
but
the
they can
Cornell
meet with
Nika,
University.
Spanish.
Kadaka, Mel
Betty,
Lee from the
Second
Cherry
year,
family.
the young
Eric,
person.
Kwiatkowski, the
They can
Martinez,
pray for our community,
Kyle,
pray for
Miles, the Hall
Mary
family,
Stevens, Joshua,
match
Wood
the
and
the
Dustin,
Turnbull
blessings,
family, the Fuller
our
family,
community,
tears of
Kiki,
joy and
Guru,
laughter.
the
and
Hall family,
Justin,
the
to
This is
you,
what
May
they're
family,
finding.
the
This is
White
how they can
this
know
Word, all the
foundation, assisting her,
that God gave
Unsolved,
Brother
the Moore
Pastor
family,
Zakun,
May
let people
family,
see
with us.
the Ismac
I
family,
pray for
and all the brothers and sisters that didn't
how
make
can
it
we
on
ask for your
forward now,
favor?
Philip,
and F,
Glenn,
didn't make
Beth,
it, Father,
And
and Jennifer
results.
didn't make it.
Adrian,
Please bless our
Bart, our children.
day, and may
The
everything that we
jobs
do
being created
today
by
Pray
this
contribute
for
tons of
including
missionaries.
Katie
All their
in China,
efforts
Father.
Roberto
Your
Costa,
work,
his
greater
family,
work, Father.
his
That's the
wife.
point.
the past year.
Thank you, everyone, for your prayers. Do we have any announcements? We can look at
Yes, I
this.
have an announcement.
Uh,
On August
this
14th,
Saturday, yours, yeah.
into the world. Came 1 month
Oh.
early, shocked us. He shocked us. Born on August 14, he was due in September sometime. But he came out, he became out well and good looking.
Hallelujah. Praise God. Wait, what's his name again?
His name is Freddie Jinho Taka Hela.
Wait, how many names is that? Freddie
Jinho,
Jinho?
J-I-N-O-H.
O-H. O-H. Jinho.
T-A-K.
Taka?
So he's coming home today.
Oh,
Good, good.
And Maria's okay?
She's good. Yeah, everything
Yay.
went well, even though he was born early.
Congratulations.
Somewhat of a miracle.
Yes, this is
How many months?
yeah, many months in labor.
20 minutes.
No. I mean, how you said he was born early, right? It was 6, 7 months?
8.
Sorry?
8 months. Okay.
Is it a 20-minute delivery?
When he got serious, it just took 20 minutes. Yeah,
He really wanted to come out.
amazing. It's amazing.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yeah.
Although that's what I was praying for that, so no surprise. Yes, not you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Of course, pictures and all that if you can. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the way.
On the way again. And this Saturday, 4 p.m. is the Original Song Project concert. I plan to be there, so it'll be at 43rd Street. So welcome to come.
Are you going out today to Columbia University again?
We're going out every day. So yes, although I have a headquarters outing thing, so I got to go there. But
Could you briefly mention also the International Health Summit that you're leading?
Yeah, so tomorrow 11 a.m. we're going to have an online discussion talking about the global health crisis and what we can do about it. This is with Phil High, our director for Global Health Ministries. Mohan, what's the last name? One of the speakers is from quite a successful organization that's done a lot of treatments in countries that need it. Cambodia, other nations, Nepal. So it should be interesting. And I'm hoping that a few of us can join and kind of understand how the situation right now. Maybe some of you are experiencing it yourselves, but I'm hoping that we can support the medical capacity of New York City, and mental health is a really big thing. It's a big issue. So we can talk about blessing people, but some people literally don't even have their minds together. So you got to look at all of that too. So I'll be facilitating tomorrow. So it should be interesting.
Well, good luck going out on the campuses today, witnessing with your survey. Yeah. I hope you'll have a hope you meet wonderful people, have a great experience. Thank you so much for your hard work. God bless you. We're praying for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Have a great day. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, a blessed day.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you, Juanita. Thank
That was a
you.
blessing.
Right.
Is
God bless.
Hayo-chan, are you there?
No, sleeping.
Okay. You're good.
Bye.
Yes, bye.
Tell them we asked for him.
Bye.
Anyway. Bye, everybody.
Have a good day.